Hey everyone, this is Udit Goenka from udit.co, and you're listening to Modern Revenue, the podcast where I talk about the future of SaaS sales. This podcast is brought to you by firstsales.io, a modern email outreaching and warm-up tool to help you fill your sales pipeline up to 7x faster, PitchGround, my SaaS marketplace, and TinyCheck, my SaaS venture studio. In today's action-packed episode, we're diving deep into the world of selling SaaS to Indian customers in Decoding Indian SaaS, how to sell, price, and thrive in a unique market. This market is vast, complex, and bursting with potential, but it comes with unique challenges. We'll break down those obstacles and reveal how you can tailor your sales strategies and mindset to win over the Indian market. Chapter 1: The Indian SaaS Landscape, your entry point. India is no longer just an outsourcing hub, folks. This market is a SaaS powerhouse waiting to erupt. Think I'm exaggerating? Let's hit you with some hard numbers. Market size. India's SaaS market is set to hit $70 billion, maybe even $100 billion by 2030. That's not a typo. According to McKinsey and Company, that's growth the US market can only dream of right now. The SaaS superstars, Zoho, maybe even Freshworks billion-dollar plus Indian SaaS companies, but they're just the tip of the iceberg. A whole new generation of Indian SaaS startups is coming up fast, tackling everything from HR to healthcare. This is a thriving ecosystem. But here's the thing about India, and this is key to your entry strategy. It's a market of contrast. Price sensitivity, absolutely. Indian businesses are savvy and they want ROI. But don't mistake this for cheapness, which brings us to value, value, value. If you can prove your SaaS solves a real painful business problem and that the return outstrips the cost, Indian buyers will line up. Period. Negotiation central. Think of the Indian SaaS market like a dynamic bazaar. Bargaining is expected, so be prepared for it. This is where understanding your value proposition down to the last rupee matters.
So, what does this landscape mean for you?
India is a land of opportunity, but only if you're ready to adapt. It's not just taking your existing US or European sales strategy and slapping on some Hindi translations. To win here, you need to understand the nuances, and that's what we'll dive into next. Chapter 2: Busting the Pricing Myth. It's not about being cheap. So, you've probably heard the stereotype: Indian buyers only care about the lowest price. Well, let me tell you, that's outdated thinking, and it'll sink your SaaS ambitions before you even get started. Here's the reality: Indian businesses are incredibly focused on ROI, the return on their investment. This seems obvious, right? But the key difference is the mindset. It's not about pinching pennies short term. It's about proving the long-term value your SaaS delivers. Think of it like this. An Indian business owner might haggle over the upfront cost but have absolutely zero issues paying a premium if they see a clear path to that cost, multiplying into profit, efficiency gains, or solving a massive headache for them. All right, that's the theory. But how do you make this tangible in your sales conversation? Here's where we get tactical. Case studies are your ammunition. Don't just rattle off features. Showcase how your SaaS generated a 3x sales increase, cut customer support costs by 20%, or whatever the metric is for similar Indian companies. Use your own client data if possible. Speak their language, literally. I don't mean Hindi or Gujarati, I mean business language. Don't talk tech specs, talk about revenue generated, time saved, problems eliminated. Numbers are your friend here. Think alternative models. India is a great market for experimenting with freemium, usage-based pricing, or tiered plans. Show flexibility and demonstrate that you understand their need to see value before scaling up investment. Let me drop a quick story. I was working with a US SaaS company trying to break into India. Their pricing was on par with their US clients. Crickets. We switched to a usage-based trial, then a low-cost initial tier. Boom! Adoption skyrocketed, and within a year, those initial low-tier clients upgraded to enterprise plans, exceeding the original sticker price they'd balked at. Key takeaway: don't fight the price sensitivity, channel it. Make it easy for Indian businesses to prove to themselves that your SaaS is worth the investment. And from there, the sky is the limit. Chapter 3: The Power of Relationship Building, your secret sales weapon. India runs on relationships. I'm not just talking about pleasantries, this is about building genuine trust. Think about it. You wouldn't enter into a big business deal with someone you met yesterday, right? Same principle here, but amplified. Here's the thing. While social media and sleek websites are great, nothing beats face to face interactions in India. This market values warmth, the personal touch. It's a long game, but one with massive payoffs. Let's make this actionable. Get on the ground if possible. Sending your best salesperson for a week to attend industry events and have coffee meetings will pay dividends far beyond 100 cold emails. The referral game is strong. Don't just ask for referrals, nurture them. Connect with VCs, industry associations, previous happy clients. An introduction from a trusted source opens doors like nothing else. Long term mindset. It might take longer to close that first deal in India, but once you're in, you have a much higher chance of customer loyalty, upsells, and becoming their go to SaaS provider for years to come. Think of it like building a family network, not just a client list. Quick story. One of my clients built such a strong relationship with a major Indian conglomerate, they ended up co developing a custom product feature specifically for the Indian market. Talk about unlocking opportunities. Now, I'm not saying you ignore modern sales tools. Absolutely not. CRM, social selling, that's all critical. But in India, it's what you do on top of these that makes the difference. Bonus point, some stats to back this up according to LinkedIn Sales Insights, referrals have a 70% higher conversion rate in India compared to other lead sources. It proves this isn't just touchy-feely stuff, it's bottom line impact. Chapter 4, Mastering the Value Proposition. Your sales magnet. You've got the right mindset on pricing, you're building those relationships, but if your sales pitch falls flat, it's all for nothing. In India, you need to tailor your pitch so it directly addresses the unique needs and pain points of the market. Here's the trap a lot of SaaS companies fall into. They lead with features. Indian businesses don't care about your shiny bells and whistles. They care about outcomes. So, how do you make the shift? Get inside their heads. What keeps Indian CEOs up at night? Is it inefficient supply chains, compliance headaches, talent acquisition costs? Dig into sector-specific reports, talk to people on the ground, and get into the nitty-gritty of their struggles. Leverage industry association, report, and Indian market research firms for insights. Case studies strike again. Don't just drop success stories, make them hyper-relevant. Highlight Indian companies in similar sectors who saw measurable gains from your SaaS increased sales, streamlined processes, whatever it is. Numbers are your friend. Quantify everything. Instead of improves customer service, say reduce support tickets by 30% in 6 months. Specificity builds credibility. Let's make this real with an analogy. You're selling a hammer. Don't talk about the fancy grip or the titanium head. Talk about how many nails it drives in per hour, how long it lasts before needing replacement. That's the value proposition an Indian buyer responds to. Here's a quick stat to drive this home. According to McKinsey and Company, tailored value propositions have been shown to increase win rates by up to 40% in emerging markets like India. That's not just nice to have, that's a competitive edge. Chapter 5, Embracing Localization. Becoming part of the fabric. Think of localization as going beyond surface level translation. We're talking about making your SaaS feel truly designed for the Indian user. Here's why this matters. Build trust. Showing you've made that extra effort to adapt to local needs demonstrates respect and a commitment to the market. This goes a long way in relationship-driven India. Reduce friction. If your pricing is in USD, your case studies feature US companies, your UI isn't mobile optimized for the huge Indian mobile user base, you're creating barriers to adoption, even subconsciously. The competition's probably not doing it yet. This is your chance to stand out. Being the SaaS provider that gets India gives you a serious edge. Alright, let's get tactical. It's not just Hindi. While language translation is important, consider regional languages for key markets in India. Even things like date formatting and currency conventions matter. Local success team. Having support folks on the ground in Indian time zones game changer. You won't believe how much faster you'll resolve issues and build positive rapport. Partner up, teaming up with an Indian SaaS consultancy or implementation specialist can accelerate your local knowledge and smooth out the initial adoption phase. Let me give you a real example. One of my clients, a US-based workflow automation SaaS, initially struggled with Indian adoption. We realized their case studies all featured Western companies with workflows that didn't fully resonate. Once we switched those out and added a local partner for onboarding, things clicked. There's even a bigger opportunity here. India is a hotbed of tech talent. Localize your product development, tap into the innovation happening on the ground. This isn't a one-way street. According to a NASSCOM report, India could become a $350 billion IT hub by 2026. Be part of that growth story. Chapter 6: Navigating Culture and Communication, the Unspoken Rules. Selling SaaS in India isn't just about the numbers and strategies. It's about understanding the cultural nuances that can make or break your deals. In this chapter, we'll explore some key cultural considerations and how to navigate them effectively. Hierarchy matters. Indian businesses often have a more hierarchical structure compared to the West. Respect for seniority and titles is ingrained. As you build relationships, be mindful of these hierarchies. Getting buy-in from the top can expedite your sales process significantly. Communication style. Indians often prefer a more indirect communication style, especially when it comes to potentially negative news or feedback. No might be expressed as "we'll see" or "it's difficult." Learn to read between the lines and respond diplomatically. Timing and patience. Indian business culture can move at a different pace. Meetings might not always start on time and decisions can take longer. Don't mistake this for lack of interest. Patience and persistence are key. Building rapport. Small talk and getting to know your clients personally is not just appreciated, it's expected. Take the time to build that rapport before diving into business. It'll pay off in the long run. Respect for tradition. While India is rapidly modernizing, traditional values still hold strong. Showing respect for local customs, festivals, and religious practices can go a long way in building trust and goodwill. Here's a quick anecdote. I once had a client who was getting frustrated with the pace of negotiations with an Indian firm. They were ready to walk away. We advised them to send a personalized gift for Diwali, a major Indian festival, to their key contact. That small gesture unlocked the deal. It showed they cared about more than just the transaction. Remember, navigating cultural differences isn't about stereotyping or generalizing. It's about being attuned to nuances and adapting your approach accordingly. When in doubt, ask questions respectfully. Most Indian business folks will appreciate your effort to understand their culture better. Chapter 7: The Art of Follow-up: Nurturing Your Indian Leads. You've pitched, you've negotiated, you've culturally connected, but the deal isn't done until the ink is dry. In India, the follow-up process is an art form of its own. Here's how to master it. Consistent, but not pushy. Regular follow-ups are expected and appreciated, but there's a fine line between being proactive and being pushy. Find that balance. Multiple touchpoints. Don't rely on just email, phone calls, WhatsApp messages, even the occasional in-person visit if possible. Mix it up. Different people respond to different modes. Value-adding follow-ups. Every touchpoint should add value. Share a relevant case study, offer a free training session, connect them with a valuable contact, make every interaction count. Be ready for last-minute requests. It's not uncommon for Indian clients to request additional information or changes at the 11th hour. Be prepared and respond swiftly. Celebrate the wins. When you do close the deal, make a point of celebrating with your client. A small gesture of appreciation can cement the relationship for future business. Let's bring this to life with a story. We were working with a SaaS company that had made a great pitch to a large Indian enterprise. The client seemed keen, but then communication went silent. Instead of just sending generic "just checking in" emails, we crafted a series of follow-ups, each one highlighting a different aspect of value. An ROI calculator, a customer testimonial video, an invite to an exclusive webinar. By the fourth touchpoint, the client was back at the table and the deal closed within a week. The key takeaway? In India, the follow-up isn't just a formality, it's an integral part of the sales process. Master it and you'll stand out from the competition. As we wrap up, let's review the key insights from each chapter. India is a complex, high-potential market for SaaS. Understand the nuances to craft your entry strategy. Indian buyers are price-sensitive but value-driven. Show the ROI and price becomes a secondary concern. Relationships are your currency in India. Invest in building trust and connections. Tailor your value proposition to address Indian business pain points specifically. Specificity sells. Localization goes beyond translation. Make your SaaS feel truly Indian to gain an edge. Navigate cultural differences with sensitivity and respect. It's the unspoken key to success. Master the art of the follow-up. In India, the deal isn't done until it's done. There you have it, folks, your playbook for cracking the Indian SaaS code. But remember, This is just the beginning. The Indian market is dynamic, ever evolving. The winners will be those who stay attuned, who keep learning, and who adapt their strategies as the landscape shifts. If you're ready to dive deeper into selling SaaS in India, I invite you to check out my website at udit.co. I've got a wealth of resources, case studies, and personal insights to help you navigate this exciting market. And to you, our listeners, thank you for tuning in. I hope this episode has equipped you with some actionable insights and strategies. If you found value here, please share this with your network. Together, let's unlock the vast potential of the Indian SaaS market. Until next time, this is Udit Goenka signing off. Sell smart, sell local, and most importantly, keep learning. Cheers.